Let's also check in on Bitcoin prices as the rally is persisting in the cryptocurrency. It went above $31,000 today for the first time since June of last year, but the crypto token now up over 17% on the week, over 80% year to date. It's down back below 31,000, but still higher on the day, even as it has paired its advance. You know, you always have to couch it when you're talking about Bitcoin, right, Akiko? I mean, you've got that it is up so much year to date. It's still about 50% below its all-time high of 69,000. But this filing on the part of BlackRock for a spot Bitcoin ETF really just lit a fire under Bitcoin, seemingly.
Yeah, if anything, it shows that the confidence among those who are long on Bitcoin is still there. But, you know, I have to tell you, Julian, I'm glad you talked about sort of that high that we saw back in 2021, because we're talking well above $60,000. We are still well off of that high, but still a big turnaround when you consider just how low Bitcoin fell on the back of the FTX collapse last year. Well, shares of Virgin Galactic sliding today after the company revealed in a filing it completed a stock offering of $300 million and plans to raise $400 million more in a subsequent offering. According to the SEC filing, the new money raised will be used for development of its spaceship fleet and infrastructure to scale its commercial operations. And Julie, we're talking about declines here on the back of that big announcement we got earlier this week, which is to say they will launch their first commercial flight later this month, with another one planned for August. So it's been a bit of a roller coaster ride for the stock this week.
Yeah, and then some, right? So this on the day that it made that announcement, the stock spiked by 27%. And then proceeded to fall for the ensuing three sessions, erasing about 28% during those 3 days. So really coming almost not quite round trip, but, you know, erasing more those gains and then some. I think you have to think that perhaps some of the weight on the stock was also what was happening not in the skies, but under the seas, right? I think safe to say with the submersible that we learned have been destroyed, just the idea that extreme travel of all kinds might see potentially some kind of pressure as the risks of doing this kind of travel were made abundantly apparent through that other situation. Whether that's reasonable to make those assumptions, I think that's something that people were perhaps thinking about. All right, shares of CarMax closing the day in the green thanks to a better than expected earnings report for the first quarter. The used car company's cost-cutting plan, which includes pausing some hiring and halting share buybacks, also seems to be paying off as it grapples with what its CEO calls a challenging macro environment and higher costs and supply shortages. We've seen a lot of volatility in the car pricing market. The company did say its average retail sales price fell about 5.5%. That's $1,600 per unit in the quarter. But it's been selling older cars as well, which I thought was interesting, Akiko.
Well, Julian, this also comes at a time where, you know, we have started to see some of these used car prices come down after being so elevated over the last year or so. So you have to wonder how much more upside there is, at least for CarMax moving forward. But at least for this quarter, some positive news coming through.
Indeed.